One of the experts, thought leaders, researchers that I like a lot is a guy called Tim Elmore. And you can find his work at growingleaders.com. Tim talks about how we engage with the next generation and how we develop them as leaders. On his blog recently, and I'm just going to read this actually off of his blog. I'll put the link in the notes of this video. In fact, you can see it down here below. He talks about 7 skills that Google is looking for in graduates. Now, I've known this for a while. A few years ago, a number of big companies came out and said that they were no longer looking at only graduates. You know, a lot of companies require a university qualification even just to walk in the front door and try and get a job. And many of them, and this included Google and Microsoft and companies like McKinsey and Ernst & Young and Tesla, had all said, actually, you know what? We've looked at who is performing in our workplace. We look at who is being successful inside our company. And we are tracking that back and saying the university qualification doesn't give us any help in deciding who's going to be a good employee or not. It's not something that we should be using. So they've stopped using university qualifications. And Google discovered this and have actually given us some insight into what they actually do look for. Google discovered that actually some of the worst performing employees were some of the best and brightest. That the graduates that came in with their STEM qualifications, and that's science, technology, engineering, maths, by the way. So the type of people that you would expect would be great employees at Google actually turned out to not be the best employees. And when they had a look at the skill sets or the skills, characteristics that they looked for in graduates and worked out which of those were the most important for trying to help them to see who would be successful at Google, they discovered that it was the science, the engineering, the mathematical ability that was at the bottom of the list. The top 7 things, therefore, the top 7 skills that Google looks for in graduates right now are, number 1, being a good coach. Interesting. The ability to engage with other people and help other people around you. Secondly, communicating and listening well. Thirdly, possessing insights into others. Google calls this social awareness. At our team at Tomorrow Today and the Future of Work Academy, we call that diversity intelligence. Fourth is empathy and support towards colleagues. I mean, are you getting this now that the top 4 are all about interacting with other people and your ability to engage with others? At number 5 was critical thinking. Number 6 was problem solving. And number 7 was connecting complex ideas or complex problem solving. Number 8 then was the technical ability that you were actually hired for. As Tim Elmore says, just let me read this off of his blog. Wow, those traits sound more like a humanities or an English major than a programmer. In the end, Google's findings absolutely support social emotional learning. The most transferable skills in almost any industry fall under the umbrella of emotional intelligence. And here's what's interesting. Google takes pride in their A teams made up of top scientists, each with specialized knowledge and able to come up with cutting-edge ideas. The data analysis that Google did, however, revealed that Google's best and most productive ideas come from their B teams, made up of employees who aren't necessarily the smartest people on the team. Tim asks a great question. I think this is a good question for you and for me. What are we teaching our children in order to enable social emotional learning that will prepare them for any career, but even for an engineering, a technical, a mathematical, a computer sciences career? How are we teaching those 7 skills? Coaching, communicating, insights into others, empathy, and only after that, critical thinking, problem solving, and complexity. Something to think about as we decide what our children should be studying at school, what we analyze and assess them in, and what we reward them and praise them for. If Google have done all of the hard work to find out what makes a great employee, maybe we should be listening to them.